like
Right.
this. I really like the
Good
sound of
man.
that. Wow.
Right.
So, Khalib, you know what? I am going to interrupt because I found something. You see, when you put things on YouTube, you have to be very, very careful because when people are digging up now, it's very
Oh
easy for them
Lord,
to
have
find.
mercy.
But you know what? This particular track that I want to play from Khalib, it is beautiful. Let me just play it for the Conduit listeners. If you've logged in, Conduit listeners, you're listening to my second guest for the evening, Miss Calibe Thompson, who is in video and TV production. She started out as an entertainer, toured with Beanie Man, Sly and Robbie, Kevin Little, and so on. But she seems to have found her passion, I think, in TV production. You know, can someone say Shonda Rhimes? Are you our next Shonda
That's what
Rhimes?
I'm aspiring to. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, Shonda, take a listen to what you were doing back in the day. Let me just play a little piece of this for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in your life, forever with you, forever in the night. I'm gonna be forever with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I'm gonna love you till the stars fall from the sky. You're my destiny, my destiny. Oh, I'm gonna love you till the birds no longer fly. You're my destiny, my destiny. This morning I woke up with
That's another track that's going to be played in its entirety at the end of the show. But that's Khalib. I'm not sure where you were performing that, Khalib, but I didn't know you also played the guitar.
I did that year and then I forgot how to do it, so
Are you
don't
serious?
embarrass me.
I thought it was like
Don't
riding a
I still
bicycle.
have the guitar and I stopped pulling it out. Just out
Oh,
of frustration, but I really enjoyed it while I was doing it, and now it's over. Don't
no,
judge
no,
me, please.
no, no, no. Because that was so beautiful. Do you remember where you were performing?
Where? Yeah, I was in Blackout's living room.
Oh, oh, nice living room. It looked like a wine bar.
Yeah, yeah. No, they had it. It was his living room, but it was also his studio.
British Empress in the chat room wants to know what channel are you on. I guess she was just able to log in, but the program, it's not actually going to be Khalib that's going to be in front of the camera. She is doing the TV production for a Caribbean cooking series called Taste the Islands that's going to start airing on PBS channels April the 4th, and we're hoping that it's going to air in the New York area, and that's where we come in because we need to call them up and tell them we want to see this cooking channel. We've heard that it's in Florida, and what are we, chop liver? We need it in New York too. So that I'm urging all of the Conduit listeners, and we're going to start the campaign on Facebook for people to really, you want to see Caribbean programming? Well, PBS is sitting on this thing. We need to call them up. And speaking about that, would you ever think about doing perhaps some kind of campaign or drive to get people in the Caribbean to be more invested in our public programming?
I don't know how we would do that. Of course, I would be interested in if someone wanted to partner with me on an effort like that. But Lucy likes to say we stay in our lane.
Right.
So my lane is the production side of it and really being the bulldog to get certain things done. But
Right.
I would absolutely be for getting involved in an effort like that. Yes.
Right, because it's an open door now for more Caribbean programming, quality, and let's stress quality programming. I mean, where do you see yourself next, Khalib?
Well, down here in South Florida, we are going to, for Caribbean American Heritage Month, be putting a 1-hour special together. And one of the pilots I had done a few years ago was called Island Origins. And I want to revive that name because of the romance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is to kind of do a not a documentary, but you've seen my show, and I like to do those interviews where we're kind of profiling people of Caribbean heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to tell stories of people who have kind of left the Caribbean, come here in search of the American dream, and achieved it.
Right.
And so we're doing a 1-hour special during Caribbean American Heritage Month down here, and then I would like to kind of bring that concept to other, very Caribbean friendly markets. I don't ever try and do things only for the Caribbean market because we're not a huge market in this country, but I think we're a neglected market in this country.
Absolutely.
So I like to do things for the friends of the Caribbean community because I know
they're
once
interested.
Once it has our stamp on there, and it's done for the wider community, our community will, of course, support it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, there's one other thing that we have not touched on. The fact that you're also, well, we know that you do news, but you're also an author.
Yes, ma'am.
You're laughing.
Well, for the moment, I'm a columnist. When I get everything put together, I will, I guess, officially be an author when something is published. But
you have a book in progress, right? You have a book in progress. Things that I shouldn't say, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So as you will have seen from the television program, I'm also very opinionated. And while we were broadcasting here in South Florida, we ended up with a print partner called the South Florida Times. They're one of the larger black newspapers here in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And they had a Caribbean section and invited me to do a weekly opinion column in that Caribbean section, kind of based on the opinions that I would do on the show. Mm-hmm. And so even after the show ended its broadcast in December here on the CW network in South Florida, mm-hmm. I continued with the paper. And while the show was broadcasting, that opinion segment was the one that got the most response from the public, from the viewing public.
Wow.
And so I decided, people would still write into me based on what I say in the columns and what have you. And sometimes it's controversial, sometimes it's encouraging, but a lot of the times it's, Lord have mercy, I don't believe she said that. I wouldn't say that, she brave boy. So that's how that title even came about. So
if you're not in the South Florida area, how would you get access to that column?
Well, it's online. If you go to sfltimes.com, SFL as in South Florida.
SFL.
sfltimes.com, and then just go to the Caribbean section. You'll see my big old face on there. Just click on that, click on my name, and all of the columns that have gone will pop up.
Okay, excellent. So, are you thinking about?
I'm trying to get the book put together within the next few months. But I did do a book, but I wouldn't call it authoring. I have what is the Jamaican word search. So it's a word search book with 30 puzzles. It's available on Amazon.com, and it's all kind of Jamaican subjects. So you'll have like Duppy Story as one puzzle topic. And in there, you'll have like Rose, White Witch and Nancy and Rolling Calf and what have you. You might have Pickle or something like, as the topic and the rundown and, just things that are Jamaican.
You put something together and it's a paper or online version and you are the owner and author of it? You're the author.
Yes. I'm the author.
And you're working on something else as well. Calibe, when do you get time? What's your downtime? What do you do in your downtime?
I don't have downtime. I am a workaholic. People get annoyed with me because they will invite me out to events and I'll have one drink and be drunk and decide I'm going to stop and I'm going home in half an hour. They call me old lady and stuff, but I am the genuine article of workaholic. When I'm not working, I'm watching TV, and that is work for me because I want to understand how things are edited and how shows are formatted and what actually engages people. And I can only do that by research for me is watching television. So
my goodness, so you have this kind of steadfast, singular attention to your craft and your work. But I guess, well, we're not going to get into that about your personal life. Right.
What personal life? What is that?
Well, I guess you don't have any. You told me that.
No, no.
Any plans to travel to New York in the near future to see what the markets are like?
Actually, there's a foundation that I work with called Kids Hub,
Uh-huh.
and they are covering. It's a foundation headed up by a gentleman by the name of Orlando Dillon, and what they do is they help kids in Jamaica who want to be broadcasters, and here in the
Oh,
U.S.
for Team
of Caribbean heritage, who
Pen
want
relays.
to become junior broadcasters. And they're
Okay.
bringing up some kids from Jamaica to cover the pen relays. And I
Right.
believe I'm coming up there for the pen relays as their media mentor for this year.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Right.
When are you going to be there? Because I'll be there on the Saturday.
I think I will be there up until either the Saturday or the Sunday.
Okay, so then we'll have to definitely link, take some pictures, put it on Facebook,
Absolutely.
promote the event, right?
Yes.
That's coming up
Yes.
April 4th. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Just incredible.
That's going to be after the April 1st
Yeah, that's the
date, but if it hasn't
20.
started broadcasting in New York yet,
We
then that
definitely.
will be our push to, part of our push to get it broadcasting there.
You know what? I think maybe we could get Team Jamaica Bickle to make some announcements.
You know,
from-
you're right.
Yeah. From their
You know,
camp.
you're-
You need to you need well, I know you got the link already, so
If you have the link, the more approaches we can get to them is the better. So
we're going to link up with links.
listeners too, if you can get to Team Jamaica, because tell them
Definitely.
we want Taste the Island.
Absolutely, because they also have I think and it's about networking and getting numbers. So definitely this is an event that's coming up. This is great programming. Hopefully they can even announce it at Pen Relays. I don't know. We'll put it out there and see where it lands, I think. Because as I said, to have Caribbean programming in the New York area, I actually pay to get special Caribbean programming.
Right.
And here you are giving us an opportunity to get this free on public access TV. And
It's not public access TV. It's TV. I think it's a little bit different. So public access TV, you would have to be
Bronx
a New York
Net.
resident, and it's
Yes.
only in the New York area.
Right.
The beauty of PBS is that you don't have to have you don't have to have cable, you don't have to have anything. You can
You
have
get
rabbit
it.
ears, you can just have something plugged into a wall.
Right, you
and
still get
PBS
it.
is available to you.
It's free. I guess free TV. Well, it's one of the mandated stations that you get.
Exactly.
Right. So it's not public access, which is something different, which is
It's-
it goes
right.
by region. Thank you for the correct. You see, she's a stickler. You can
No,
see she's a
it's
stickler,
truly
right?
Public television.
She's not putting up with foolishness. She's like, what is this girl talking about? Let me just tell the people what she means to say. I love it.
Don't mean to pull you, but I just
Absolutely
want to
not,
be
no.
clear that everybody will have access to this thing once it's on TV.
And that is the wish. And you know something, Calibe, I think your determination, it will actually happen because it's your determination and the team that's with you that's pushed it to this level. I mean, a lot of people have a vision and have a dream, but how many people can actually execute it to the point where you're on the verge of, wow, it's going to be on TV. And it's going to be on
Everybody-
national TV.
130 plus stations already indicated that they were going to show it. And I know that since then there are going to be more. There's 350 PBS stations across the country.
Wow.
And I know that it's going to be more than that pick it up eventually. But we have to have the grassroots movement. It has to come from our community wanting to support this and actually picking up the phone.
And
Please
calling,
don't do
making
this
the call.
thing please don't do this thing like in elections or my vote doesn't count. If you pick up the phone and call the station and tell them, I want to watch this show, that will make all. If enough one cocoa full the basket,
Absolutely.
they will broadcast the show.
So can we call them before the 4th of April national rollout?
Yes.
Okay, well, in the same way that, there was that groundswell, that overwhelming support for Tessan Chin, I don't see why we can't do the same kind of campaign for Taste the Islands, the Caribbean cooking. I mean, that would be wonderful. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine, and I'm praying for that.
It
I'm
will
praying for
happen.
that because, we really started this very scrappy. We did it on a minimal budget. I'm going to tell you the truth. We don't have a budget at all for PR, and so we've been reaching out to people in New York like Irvin Clare and Irvin Clare. People in California like Leo Gilling.
Right.
In our market down here, we have the Marlon Hills of the world, David Mullings in Orlando. But all the diaspora people we have been reaching out to, we need the support of our people to get the word out on this thing.
Okay,
get
so
some media on it.
What
Whatever you can do.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to enroll the assistance of the alumni associations in New York,
Yes.
and I'm sure you're doing the same thing in South Florida, because we do have the numbers. It's just that we don't always connect the dots.
Right.
So let's connect the dots on this one for Miss Calibe Thompson, video producer, TV producer, female entrepreneur, author, columnist, and Jamaican woman.
And Jamaican woman. And please, I'm going to implore everyone, go to Facebook, like the page, go to Twitter. It's Taste the Islands with a Z on Twitter and on Instagram, on Facebook. Well, you can just search Taste the Islands.
Right, and it will come up. I'm putting it in the chat room so that people can see. So it's Taste the Islands with a Z on Twitter.
On Twitter and Instagram, it's with a Z, and everywhere else, it's with an S.
S. Okay, all right. So come on, get those fingers going. We need to have this programming nationally in every state where PBS is. We need to be seeing Taste the Islands. I mean, oh my goodness, Calibe, it really has been a pleasure speaking to you for this prolonged period. Normally, our conversations take the line of, Calibe, I can't do the broadcast. Can you do it for me, please?
Yes, well, no, we one hand washes the other. We help each other up. Actually, my column this week for the paper spoke about. I had an experience with two different women this week, and one of them was very derogatory, and someone I thought would have been much more encouraging than she was, and she said something that really didn't break my spirit, because I knew it was not coming from a wholesome place.
Wow.
But it was very disappointing to have heard that from that particular person.
So
then 3 days later, I hear from someone who I met for maybe 10 minutes, and who just was so encouraged by my energy and my devotion to what we're trying to accomplish, that she took 2 hours. I mean, this is somebody who does not need to take time out of her day to talk to me. She's introducing me to very high-powered lawyers who are in the entertainment space, and she took time out of her own busy schedule to kind of mentor me for a few hours.
Wow.
And, it was just looking at the one who was the derogatory one was a Caribbean American, a Jamaican like myself. And the other woman was an African American woman who has nothing to benefit from helping me other than it's another black woman, and she wants to see another black woman come up in the world. And it was really encouraging to know that regardless of what one set of people might do to kind of put you down, there's always another set of people who want to see you do well.
Lift you up. And I say, for International Her Story Month, that's something that we should talk about. Why is it that some women feel that they're kind of hobbled from encouraging their sisters and supporting their sisters? When did we become at war with each other?
Exactly.
And I find it all the time. And people look at me, I'll go up to someone, and complete strangers, and say, you look really nice. I really like that outfit. And they look at me like I'm crazy.
But they love it.
But we need to encourage ourselves. We need to massage ourselves and support ourselves. And I don't know. But you know what? The lady who maybe didn't have the positive comment, it's down to her, not down to you.
Exactly.
So,
and I don't know, we hear things from people sometimes, and a lot of us will take it personally. I realized when I heard that something was going on in her life, to make her, behave or react in that way.
Yeah.
And I don't take it personally. It's disappointing to hear, but you have to understand that it's people's personal issues, and you have to find your own push and just keep yourself going.
Yeah, and perhaps if you reach out to her next week, you'll get a completely different response.
No. That's
Oh.
how that person is.
Oh dear.
You also have to know who you're dealing with.
Oh gosh. All right, we'll leave that one alone then. You know, you keep it moving.
Exactly.
One door
Yeah.
closes and another one opens, and that's the way I look at it. All I know, Calibe, is that we will look back on this conversation and say, wow, look how far she went. Because I have every confidence that
you.
the sky is the limit for you, Calibe. I just want to wish you all the best and just keep doing what you're doing. As you said, the haters, just shake them off and keep going.
Shake them off and continue to keep your positive energy up. You see a lot of people who say, oh, this person said this to me and I'm never speaking to them again and they're horrible and when the haters, and I don't get into that.
No.
Literally keep your own good energy where you need to keep your own good energy.
Absolutely.
And it becomes contagious. And if it doesn't become contagious, it's fine. Keep it to yourself, but share it. Share that good energy. Don't get into the negative.
Absolutely, because what happens then is that you get pulled down by that negative energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, wow, Calibe, what can I say? We're going to definitely be meeting up on Facebook. We're going to get that campaign going. Maybe we need to, I can start an event and people can start events to start the calling campaign to PBS. That's how we do it. Start small and then get the ball rolling. But definitely,
organize some phone banks. That's what I'm going to do, like what we did for the Obama campaign.
Okay, but then I don't know how that would. Do you have people in New York that you could ask to spearhead that too?
I don't know. I just thought of it this second. So while we're brainstorming, let's
I love
the air.
I love a woman who thinks on her feet. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. But definitely, it's on. It's definitely on, and we're going to be seeing that programming in New York City because it's something that we need to see, and other people need to see it too. You notice how Caribbean culture is infusing and invading every other culture?
Yes. Jerk is everywhere. The dancing is everywhere. Dior has the Rasta collection. I mean, Marley drinks I'm seeing now in every supermarket. We're everywhere, and so it's time for us to capitalize on that in a bigger way.
I mean, there was a discussion on Facebook, and I don't know if you've spoken about it in your column yet, that program Empire, with some words that were being ascribed to somebody.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
that just shows you the breadth and depth of the Caribbean culture.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
you're on to a winner, Calibe, and I know that you will actually branch onto other things, but for now, Taste of the Islands and to Chef Irie. Oh, by the way, Chef Irie is my guest next week, correct?
Yes. Next week Sunday. I don't know what time you have him on, but next week Sunday, Chef Irie's on with you.
Well, we're gonna have to finalize that next week, and I'm so glad the phone line held up. I knew it was that connection in Jamaica. And Digicel and Lime need to get their act together. Una need to get on our acts together. Anyway.
Yes, and to your listeners, it's Taste the Islands. It's not Taste of the Islands, but
Okay.
it's Taste the Islands with Chef Irie.
Okay.
Please make sure you look it up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're on Pinterest, look it up there as well. My website is blondierats.com. The website for the show is tastetheislandstv.com. And of course, you can look up Chef Irie at chefirie.com.
And the easiest way to get all of that information is do you have a Facebook fan page?
Yeah, man, it's Taste the Islands.
Taste the Islands with the S, right? Taste the Islands. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Calibe, what can I say? It's been a fascinating hour, our conversation.
Thank you.
And I know we could go on because there's more music that I could play. But guess what? For International Her Story Month, I'm going to play them. So we got some collaborations with Calibe and Sizzler coming up for you. That should be interesting. I hope you can log on, stay logged in and listening. But let me just say thank you for being the guest this evening on the Conduit
Show.
Show.
Thank you for having me on. To all your guests, thank you for listening. And please stay upful in your mind. And please follow us. Please support our efforts. We're doing everything to put the Caribbean community in the best possible light. And I hope that rubs off on some people as well.
And you're doing a great job. A very worthy cause. Thank you so much, Calibe.
All
And
right.
we're definitely going to be